Oi, frog!
by Kes Gray and Jim Field.
Oi, frog! Sit on a log, said the cat.
But I don't want to sit on a log, said the frog. Logs are all knobbly and uncomfortable, and they can give you splinters in your bottom.
I don't care, said the cat. You are a frog, so you must sit on a log.
Can't I sit on a mat? asked the frog.
Only cats sit on mats, said the cat.
What about a chair? said the frog. I wouldn't mind sitting on a chair.
It sits on chairs, said the cat.
Perhaps I could sit on a stool? said the frog.
Mew sits on stools, said the cat.
What about a sofa? said the frog. I could stretch right out on a sofa.
Gopher sits on sofas, said the cat. It's very simple, really. Cat sits on mats. Hare sits on chairs. Mew sits on stools. Gopher sits on sofas. And frog sits on logs.
What do lions sit on? asked the frog.
Lion sits on irons, said the cat.
Ouch, said the frog. What do parrots sit on?
Parrot sits on carrots, said the cat. Lion sits on irons, and parrot sits on carrots.
Doesn't sound very comfortable, said the frog.
It's not about being comfortable, said the cat. It's about doing the right thing.
What do foxes sit on? asked the frog.
Foxes sit on boxes, said the cat. Foxes sit on boxes, and fleas sit on peas.
What do goats sit on? asked the frog.
Goat sits on coats, said the cat. Goat sits on coats. Cow sits on plows. And stork sits on forks.
What do gorillas sit on? asked the frog.
Gorilla sits on pillars, said the cat. Gorilla sits on pillars. Rat sits on hats. Weasel sits on easel. And Mole sits on hose.
What do seals sit on? asked the frog.
Did you know anything? said the cat. Seal sits on wheels. Dove sits on gloves. Newt sits on flutes. Lizard sits on wizard. And ape sits on grapes.
What about puffins? asked the frog.
Puffin sits on muffins, said the cat. Puffin sits on muffins. Snake sits on cakes. Owl sits on towels. Gibbon sits on ribbons. Lamb sits on jams. Bee sits on keys. Puma sits on sasumas.
Well, I never knew that, said the frog.
Well, you do now, said the cat.
What do dogs sit on? asked the frog.
I was hoping you weren't going to ask that.